I will never understand why people think that their self-worth is dependent on their marital status. No, your self-worth does not depend on your marital status. Like, and if that is the reason why you're wanting to get married, then you are in it for the wrong reasons. Like, if you're trying to get married because you're trying to please your family members, or because you think that it's going to help with your self-esteem issues, it's going to help you gain more respect in the society, then you are in it for the wrong reasons. So you might want to rethink that. So that is the first question you should be asking yourself. That's the first question you should be asking yourself. There is other very essential questions that you should be asking yourself before getting married, so that you can ensure a lifetime of happiness, love, and peace. So let's dive into it. The first thing I'm going to be talking about is you want to make sure you talk about your goals and your aspirations prior to marriage. It's very important to know that. What are his long-term goals? What are the plans? Don't just get into it. No. Another question you should be asking yourself is, does he want kids? Does she want kids? How many kids do you want? How are you going to raise the kids? Like, what is the plan for their education? Like, what are your parental values on how you on discipline, how you're going to discipline the kids? You want to know that, because you don't want to be in a relationship with somebody that is going to beat your child to death. So you want to know his parental values. You want to know if he prioritizes spending time with the kids, taking them out, traveling. You want to know all of that, if that is something that you love. So, excuse me. You want to know all of that. Also, another thing you want to know is the finances. Yes, let's not act like money is not important. Money is important. It's very important. It's very, very important, because with money, it will save you a lot of stress. Let me give you an example. Like, when I got married to my husband, we didn't talk about all of these things. We didn't talk about finances, the number of kids we wanted. We didn't talk about all of that. So when I started having kids, things became very difficult for us, because he was the only person working. He was a breadwinner and he was not making enough. So that way I had to stay home and raise the kids, and I was not getting any allowance or anything based on that. And I would get so tired and so burned out. It would make me so moody, and I feel like I was not being like the mom I was supposed to be and the wife I was supposed to be to my husband, because I just had so much going on. But let's say if our financial situation was good, we could hire help. There could be someone who is going to help us with the kids. That way, it's going to give me some time to rest, so that when my husband comes back, I'll have time for him, and I'll even have time now to deal with the kids, because the house help is not going to be here all day. She's going to be here just for a few hours, right? Yes, but that time is going to give me some time to recharge, give me some time to have that alone time, for myself. But I never had that. So you really want to make sure that when you're getting married, you should know about the financial situation. If he's in any debt, you want to know. If he has any financial responsibilities, you want to know. You want to know that. Don't just get into it because you're getting married. Marriage is going to fix everything. Marriage is not going to fix it. It's not going to fix anything. So those are questions that you should ask. Do not be afraid to ask those questions. If he is the man for you, he's still going to stay. Another thing is expectations. If you're a woman who does not like to cook, for example, and then the husband likes to cook, he wants to eat pounded yam every day, he wants to eat achu every 2 days, and you are not able to do that, what will happen if you get into the marriage without knowing that that is the kind of man that he is? The marriage will fail. So that is why it's important to have that conversation prior to your marriage. Let him know, as I'm like this, I don't like to cook. Oh, I cannot pound, I cannot do this, I cannot do that. You let them know what they can expect from you. If he's somebody that still wants to be with you, he'll be with you. But if he sees that, okay, that cooking, eating that pounded yam and eating that achu every day is very important for me, no, I don't want this marriage again, it's better you save yourself from the stress of having a divorce. Not so. So that is why it's good to communicate those expectations early in the marriage. Also, you want to understand your partner's love language. That is a mistake that I made in my first marriage. It was like, okay, I always wanted him to tell me that I love you before I will know that he loves me. But as I grew up, I've learned that people have different ways of expressing their love. People have different ways. So you guys need to be able to communicate that. He needs to be able to tell you what his love language is, and you need to be able to tell him what your love language is. There's some people, their love language would just be like saying thank you. Oh, thank you, the food was delicious. That's a love language. Some people, their love language would just be like a tap on the back, like a tap, encouragement. That is it. They will never say that I love you. Some people will never say that I love you, but they will do little things that will show you that they love you. But if you are like me, that at that time I only wanted for the man to tell me that I love you before I know that he loved me, then you are in for wahala. So the thing is, you have to know the love language. You have to tell him your love language. He has to, if your love language is gift, but don't go and over ask for expensive gifts. When you say love language is gift, things like flowers, perfume, don't go and start asking for cars and very, very expensive things. But it's okay if your husband can provide it for you. What's the problem? There's no problem there. So those are things that you have to look into prior to getting married. What is his attitude on savings, on spending? For me, before I got married, spending, I love to shop a lot. If my husband had taken the time, if we had sat and but he was somebody that was very careful with his money. He would save his money and everything was fine. He was very, very careful with how he spent his money, but me, I was not like that. But if it's something that we had sat and talked about it, maybe our life could be better now, because we did not talk about those things. We did not set those expectations of, okay, this is what you're bringing in, this is what we should be saving, this is it, this is that. We did not have it. Our financial life became very, very difficult. So I don't want you to make the same mistake, okay? You guys should sit and plan on budgeting. Plan on budgeting is very important. Have emergency fund for rainy days, because you never know. Also, when you are deciding that you want to have kids, you have to know if your partner wants to have kids, because maybe you are with a woman who does not want to have kids, or you are with a man who does not want to have kids. But if you guys decide that you want to have kids, you have to discuss, how many kids do you want to have? How many kids do you want to have? You want to have 2 kids, you want to have 3 kids? Because for my case, we did not even talk about how many kids we wanted to have. We just started having kids. So I don't want you to, and that was very difficult, because we did not plan for it. Even to buy the children's things, their clothes, and everything that they needed. It was very difficult, because it came at a time when, excuse me, it was not planned. But if you plan these things, it'd be like, okay, I want us to have 3 kids. You will have a better plan for it. You will have a budget for it, for when that child comes, for when you are pregnant, when you're going to give birth. You will have a budget for everything that you need to buy for the baby. So you see, planning is very important. So you need to know that is somebody that is really strong on planning, like somebody that is really serious about planning out things. When you see somebody, if you are going to be with somebody like that, then you are in for a very good life. You are in for a very good life. Things will not be hard for you. Things will be so easy. So you want to make sure that you guys are on the same page when it comes to those kind of things. Okay. Also, spirituality. If he is not falling under the anointing now that you are still in a relationship, why do you think that he will start falling under the anointing when you guys get married? So let's set realistic expectations. The problem is that people think that once they get married, marriage fixes everything. Marriage does not fix everything. It does not fix anything. Okay, so when people show you who they are, believe it, believe and trust that is how they are. Stop thinking that when we get married, it's going to change. It's not going to change. It might even get worse. It's not going to change. So that is why you need to talk about those things that you expect. If you are big on morning devotion, praying at night before sleeping, praise and worship, that's something that you should talk about prior to your marriage. And sometimes you can even see that the person is not into it. If it's something that is going to be a big problem for you, then you better not get into that marriage. But if it's not going to be a big problem for you, you just leave it at, okay, if no problem, we'll just get into the marriage and God will do his work. Fine. But don't go and set expectations that will start stressing you, then will lead to a divorce. I know many people always say, if you don't get what you want, if you're not happy in the marriage, you should leave, you should divorce. I want you guys to know that divorce does not come easy for everybody. Not everybody can just get a divorce like that. Not everybody can just get a divorce. It's not easy for everybody. So in order to avoid that kind of situation, because since you are not able to divorce the person, you're going to stay there and take whatever. It's better to know all of these things before you get married to the person, so that you can avoid being in that situation. You can avoid being in that situation. There's a whole lot more of things to know prior to, like, if you're somebody that likes to travel, you like to read books, you listen to podcasts, you listen to all of those things, and the man does not listen to it, and you like him to listen to it, all those things. Ask all of those questions. If he's into like self-development, like growth, like what's his plan for the future, like does he plan on furthering his education, you see what are his long-term goals. You need to be able to know all of that prior to getting into the marriage. Okay. And also, there is some people who don't have any problems with all the family members or everybody in the tribe, in the village, coming to stay in their house. Some people don't have a problem with that. But I'm talking to you, if you have a problem with that, whether you are a man or a woman, if you have that kind of problem where you like your privacy, you like your husband, your wife, your kids, you guys are in your house, you like that privacy, you want to be able to just move around in your house without wearing anything in your lingerie, you just want to feel free in your house, and you know that you are not really big on having too many people in your house, that's a discussion that you should have prior to marriage, because he might be somebody, or she might be somebody that all of her relatives have to come and stay in the house for a very long time before they start finding their way. It does not. The thing is, it's okay. It's okay to not want people in your house. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It does not mean that the man does not love his wife or the woman does not love the husband's family. But if you guys have a conversation about it, it's going to make it a little bit easier. It's going to make it a little bit easier. Okay? And then another thing is conflict resolution. The way you people solve your problem, you have to solve your problem in a very healthy way, especially if kids are gonna be concerned. You want to not solve problems by criticizing each other. You don't want to do that. So you want to solve problems in a way that is like constructive criticism, like be respectful when you're trying to correct each other. So those are things that are very important. Those are things that I did not know all of those things, and I feel like women who are married are not giving enough advice to younger women out there who are fighting to get married. Like, we have to be a bit realistic about marriages and expectations. And I know one of the biggest things that kills marriages is over expectation. You should not be over expecting certain things. I'm not saying that you should bring down your standards or no, but like, just set expectations that are realistic, that that both of you can accomplish. Because okay, like, you cannot say that the woman is pregnant, she's having, during that period of having morning sickness, she cannot even get out of bed, and you, the man, are expecting her to wake up that morning and make you breakfast. That's not realistic. Now, that's not realistic. Also, you guys have to talk when it's time for childbearing. What are his responsibilities? Is he going to help you with that? I was very fortunate because my husband would help me when I was pregnant. Throughout all of my pregnancies, he will help. He helped me a lot. I never got into the kitchen to cook anything. He will cook everything. He will bathe the kids. He will do most of those things. So I'm really grateful for that. But what if you have somebody that is not like that? And you're going to know, people's characters don't hide. You date this person now, you will date them. Yes, even though some certain things but over the years and when you guys start living together, but you are going to know certain things once you people are dating. Don't ignore the signs. There are red flags. They show it and they act like, oh, it's just a joke. It's not a joke. You should be able to state your non-negotiables. Okay, don't be afraid. If you have your values like transparency, you want transparency. What are your rules when it comes to using the phone? If you have a man that comes and sleeps with you on the bed, and he's on the bed, he's on his phone, that is something that you don't like. Communicate it prior to you people getting married, that is something that you don't like. That is something that you don't appreciate. Don't wait for when you people get married to start complaining about that. No, start complaining about it now. that you guys are still not married. If you see if it's something that he's ready, he's willing to work with you, he knows that it's something that does not make you happy, and he's willing to let go of that habit, then that is a good person. But if not, then I don't know. So you have your personal values. You guys should be able to communicate clearly on like your intimacy, what you expect from each other, what you want. Because the thing is, I feel like couples are always shy, when it comes to this intimacy aspect of telling each other what they want. If you want him to touch you in a particular place, tell him that touch me here because it makes me to feel like this. If he wants you to do it this way, he should tell you to do it that way because it makes you feel like that. That is good. But I noticed that like in intimacy, couples will even be making love and they are shy. They are in the process and they are shy. So it does not make any sense to me. All of those things kill the relationship. It does not bring life into the relationship. So those are things that you should talk about. You should be able to understand when you're tired and you are not able, because when you get married and you start having kids, there are days when you'll be so tired, you'll be exhausted, and you will not be able. You see the kind of man that will be upset that you refuse to give it to him because you are tired, or is it the kind of man that will be understanding that, oh, my wife is tired, and instead try to massage your leg, massage your back so that you can have a good night's sleep. So those are questions that you should be asking yourself. You should ask yourself those questions, okay? Yes. And also sometimes some men can do better with cooking than some women. If you know that you are not very good at it, you should communicate it with him clearly, than for you to go and get married to him. Now you go to the house, now when it's the first day for you to cook your first meal, you are shaking, you are calling all of your aunties, all of your neighbors to find out what to do. No, you should let him know that that is a shortcoming that you have. You are working on it. If he's still willing to be with you, if he loves you, he will be with you. So at the end of the day, get married for the right reasons. Get married because you are seeking to find a deep connection with this person. You are seeking to like create a legacy with this person. You're seeking to grow together through your strength and your weaknesses. You're seeking to learn like personal development together. That is why you should be getting married. Also, I want you guys to know that communication is key to every relationship. Every successful relationship, communication is key. Once you are able to get that, then you are in for a life of love, happiness, and peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye. Say hi.
Hi.
Good job. High five. Yay, high five.
Hi.
Kiss, kiss. Mwah. I love.